In our fast-paced world, it can be easy to get caught up in external projects, careers, relationships, even hobbies. But what if I told you the most rewarding and impactful project you could ever undertake is one that focuses on you? Self-development isn't just a buzzword. It's a lifelong journey that can lead to profound changes in your life. Whether it's developing new skills, nurturing your mental health, or simply becoming more self-aware, investing in yourself pays the highest dividends. Let's talk about why personal development is so important. One of the first things is overall personal growth. It allows you to set certain goals, specific goals, big goals, small goals. It doesn't really matter. It allows you to set certain goals and then develop the habits that you need to achieve those goals. Now, this isn't just about putting some goals down on a piece of paper. Now, I've never been a big fan of writing my goals down. Here's why. It's not that it doesn't have value. Obviously, writing your goals down, having something concrete on paper that you can look back to and remind yourself what you're shooting for, yeah, that can be helpful. It's not really what I'm getting at. So the main reason I've never really liked writing goals down on a piece of paper is they weren't tangible to me. Even though it was something I desperately wanted to achieve, I never could capture a feeling with just writing a goal down. It always worked way better for me to put myself in a movie. Yeah, I'm in this this hero's journey or being the hero of my own story. And I used to think about these things before I ever even heard Joe Rogan say those very words. But I do think he put them perfectly. Be the hero of your own story. Be the hero of your own journey. And when I set goals, and especially the ones that I tend to achieve and that I have a lot of success with, especially the daily habits, it's when I see things play out like they're in a movie. When I see my future self, confident, lean, healthy, happy, smiling, and I'm around a group of friends and family members, and we're all growing and we're all healthy and happy. When I see these things, it's a movie playing out in my head. It's not just an image, and it's not just words down on a piece of paper. So when I'm looking at personal growth and development, I'm looking at an actual, I don't want to call it a finished product, but I'm looking at that future version of myself and that best version of myself that I'm trying to be. And I'm like, okay, instead of just setting small goals, what habits does that person have that got to where he's at? That's probably the easiest and most powerful way to reverse engineer this fully developed or self-aware person. Okay, he's lean, he's happy, he's healthy. What did he do to get there? What are the daily habits that it took to get where he's at? And then just start living as if I'm that person. That's how my fitness journey has become successful. Again, I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm not at that finished product, quote unquote, finished product. I'm not there yet, but I'm extremely committed and happy with my health and fitness journey right now. I've developed a new identity. I'm no longer the guy who knows a lot about health and fitness, but can't apply it and then just yo-yos up and down his entire life. I'm now known as the guy who is at the gym every morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock there. I'm there every morning. I get out of bed 4:30 every morning to go to the gym and put work in. And I do that for me. I do that for my future self. I do that to honor the man that I'm trying to become, the man that I see in the future. I'm doing those things to honor that man, to honor the best version of myself. So it's not just developing a little goal, and it's not just developing habits. It's literally embodying that person that you're trying to become. Yes, you're taking those habits. Yes, you're setting goals. But if you live that story, if you live that person that you're trying to become, you can't fail. And in applying those daily habits and embodying that best version of yourself, you build unshakable confidence. So in my life, there are definitely some things I still need to work on when it comes to building confidence. But right now, when it comes to my fitness journey, unshakable. And I'm not looking at this from a kill myself in the gym, leave everything on the floor, hating myself at the end of every workout, David Goggins, just push, push, push. I'm not doing that. I actually go into the gym grateful I get to go in there every single morning with a smile on my face, ready to tackle a workout that's going to leave me feeling better than when I went in. My goal is to always feel better after my workout than when I went into the gym. It's been amazing to see that transformation, and the confidence comes from showing up and performing those daily habits, showing up as that best version of myself. That bleeds over into other habits. It bleeds over into being growth minded when it comes to my nutrition, learning how I can do things better there, learning ways to track my food better so that I can hit those targets and honor that best version of myself. Eat whole foods so that I can honor the health of my organs and my overall system, not just hit numbers on a tracking app. It's not just about hitting those numbers. It's about actually, what am I taking in? What are my inputs? I talked about that in another video. What are my inputs? If my inputs are whole natural foods, good meats, eggs, fruits and vegetables, if that's the bulk of my diet, I'm doing really good. I'm honoring that future self, and I'm putting great nutrition into my body. And so I'm healing my organs, and I'm healing my system. I'm taking good care of myself, right? And a treat now and then is not going to hurt anybody. But if I'm developing the mindset and developing the habits of that best version of myself, it's going to look like whole foods the majority of the time. By developing those daily habits and just doing them consistently, confidence sprouts out from that. And another byproduct of self-development is building resilience, grit. Life will throw challenges your way, but when you know your strengths and weaknesses, you can navigate through tough times with grace. So let's continue the fitness journey example of this. I recently had a low back injury that in the past, I probably would have shut my entire workout routine down. And I would have ate like shit, during that time. And that week or two, or maybe even longer, would have definitely turned into months without training, and hence the continuous yo-yo that I was on for decades. With this most recent injury, the pain was fairly significant, and it was hard to get up and down out of the chair, get out of the vehicle after driving for a long distance. Once I got moving, things would kind of loosen up and I'd feel a little bit better. But ultimately, that low back injury was pretty nagging, and it wasn't even doing anything. I don't even have a good story. I slept wrong. That's what happens when you're 49. You sleep wrong and you get fucking injured. But that happened on a Sunday night, and Monday morning was my leg day. Now, I could probably stumble in there in the past and maybe push out an upper body day. Well, I wouldn't have done it though, but I'm just saying maybe I could have done something like that, but never in the past would I have even attempted anything lower body with a low back injury. Now, did I go in there and continue my current programming at 100%? No, I took a step back. I used the tools at my disposal to get work done, but not aggravate the injury. So I go in there, I do some mobility work. I do some hip flexor stretches, 90-90 for my hips. I do some glute activation, some core activation, and then I get into the workout. And the workout really just consisted of some of the things that I showed in that video with that lower body workout with the unilateral work. I did some ring supported lunges, single leg squats. I did some single leg toe touches. And I really kept it pretty simple. Worked on my hip hinge so that I wasn't compressing and flexing my back too much. I just basically went in there and practiced some movements. That's all I did. I went in there and practiced some things that I had been working on and did them at a much lower intensity. And not only did that not aggravate my low back pain, but I left the gym with zero pain. So staying active and being smart about it and pushing through those injuries, those setbacks, whatever they may be, because there's also mental setbacks we can hit. We have things going on in our everyday life that have nothing to do with health and fitness. Maybe they're from relationship issues, career issues. Lord knows we have plenty of those in our life that can that can give us enough grief to sidetrack us, so that can knock us off of our purpose or cause us to drift. And I've had some of those personal challenges, and the one thing that reduces my anxiety from those personal challenges more than anything else is when I put the focus back onto myself. I pray about it. I ask God for strength. I ask God for guidance. And then I put the spotlight back on myself, because if I'm so concerned about what this other person thinks, if I'm so rejected or so hurt or angry, or, insert any emotion, if I'm feeling emotional about a certain situation, it's really best if I just kind of take a step back, look at myself, look at my responses to the situation, look at where I might feel inferior and that had caused that anxiety, and challenge those negative beliefs, challenge those negative thoughts of inferiority, and really bring those positive affirmations back into my thoughts, so that I'm not dwelling on this anxiety of a certain issue in my relationship, or if I'm not dwelling on this feeling of inferiority, I challenge those beliefs by taking a step back, looking at just overall where I fit in this scenario. Did I do something that I could possibly apologize for? Did I do something wrong? Because if I did, I need to own that and admit it and try to correct the situation. But if I did nothing wrong and I'm just feeling like I've been slighted, rejected, what have you, then it's most likely just my programming taking over, saying, oh, you're not good enough. You knew this would happen. No, that's bullshit. We just need to take a step back and take a look at all the work we put in that really validates, our character, our commitment, and our dedication to becoming that best version of ourselves. So how do we implement these things? How do we live those habits where we're becoming the best version of ourselves? I need to go back to what I said earlier. And if there are some things that, as we work backwards from that ultimate version we're trying to become, yes, there's probably some things we could write down on paper. I have nothing against it. It just isn't something that I've had a ton of success with, but I do see value in it. So I'm not completely shitting on the idea of writing goals down. But I would say this: when you're writing these things down, when you're writing your goals down, write them down as an action instead of an achievement. So let your goal be the daily action. Saying, I want to lose 25 pounds of fat in 3 months. What if you said, I'm going to strength train 2 days a week. I'm going to hit 8,000 steps every day. I'm going to hit my desired body weight in grams of protein. I'm going to eat whole foods. I'm going to stay hydrated, and I'm going to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Those are actions, but you can make those your goals, because the person that you're trying to become does those things the vast majority of the time. They're not perfect. We're not shooting for perfection. And there's a term where I could insert right there at that very moment and say, but we're chasing excellence. I'm going to challenge that thought just a little bit. What if we don't chase anything? What if we just become excellent? That final version of ourselves that we've created, that movie that we've created in our head, that avatar, that image, that person we're trying to become, we see that person as excellent, I would hope. I mean, that's what we're aspiring for, right? Well, by adopting that person's daily habits, aren't we excellent? I think so. Now, the outward image of us isn't going to change overnight, but we are going to see results. The inner work, the inner image that we have of ourselves isn't going to change overnight, but we are going to see results. Adopt the daily habits of that final version of yourself, and you're not chasing excellence. You are excellent. By committing to those daily habits, by showing the discipline that it takes to show up and be that best version of yourself every day, you already are excellent. So then it's just a matter of lining up that timeline to where the work has now all of a sudden become that result that you're looking for. So personal development is all about growth, and it's all about becoming that best version of yourself, which I firmly believe is our purpose in this world. It's to become the best version of ourselves and give that person to the world. share the challenges that we've had and how we've been able to overcome them so that we can help others facing those same challenges. And don't forget to reflect on your progress. This is where you can take inventory and see how far you've come. You know, this is where sometimes you don't even have to seek it. When you start to become that person, people tell you. You don't have to sit back and reflect too much. You can. I do it. But people tell me that I've changed. People tell me that I'm a new person. Or even the coolest thing is people who don't know me from several years back, only people who know me maybe in the last year or last 10 to 12 months, they see me as a person who's dedicated to his fitness, who's in the gym every single morning, putting in work, and usually with a smile on my face because I love being there and I love the feeling that I get from taking care of my body. I love the feeling that I get from showing God gratitude for giving me this healthy body and allowing me to move it, to use it, and to heal it. They just see me as a guy who's in there every day putting in work, and they comment on it. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten comments about my consistency and my discipline. And these are all people who haven't even known me a full year. And the people that know me from further back and see this change, the pride with which they talk about it to me, that they're so proud of me. You know, and yeah, they'll tell me, oh, hey, you're looking great or whatever. But the biggest compliments are when they talk about how happy I look, how healthy I look, or how committed I am and disciplined I am. Those are the best compliments. That's what I like to reflect on is I've completely changed. I have become that person. I exhibit those habits that become that person. So I highly encourage you, if you're on a self-improvement journey, if you're trying to develop some type of self-mastery and personal development, value yourself as that most important project. When you adopt the mindset and the habits of that best version of yourself, you're going to become unstoppable, and it's going to fill you with gratitude, and you're going to be thankful that you've developed that mindset. So highly encourage you to see yourself as that most important project and then put in the work and watch yourself change. It's an incredible feeling. I hope you found this video helpful. If you can relate to anything I shared today, please drop it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.